When Ryan Gosling walked onto The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, no one expected anything out of the ordinary. Dressed in a slick grey suit, his effortless charm was on full display as he greeted the audience with that signature half-smile. Colbert, known for his sharp wit and political jabs, welcomed him warmly, and at first, it seemed like the start of a light-hearted segment. But beneath the surface of polite conversation, an unexpected tension simmered. What was supposed to be a promotion for Gosling's new film quickly turned into a verbal tug-of-war that left the audience stunned and producers scrambling. Things started off tame. Colbert asked about the movie, Gosling cracked a few jokes, and the audience responded with laughter. But the tone changed when Colbert pivoted the conversation toward Gosling's recent remarks about Hollywood's political hypocrisy, comments that had stirred controversy online. "You've said some strong things about the industry," Colbert began. "Do you really think actors should just stay out of politics?" Gosling, caught slightly off guard, nodded. "I think actors can have opinions, but we shouldn't pretend we're experts on everything," he replied. The audience gave a polite clap, but Colbert wasn't finished. With his trademark smirk, Colbert followed up, "So when you talk about hypocrisy, are you talking about yourself too?" The question landed like a spark in dry brush. Gosling blinked, then chuckled. "Well, I try not to lecture people from a mansion," he said evenly. Colbert leaned forward. "But isn't that exactly what you're doing right now?" The studio audience tensed. It was no longer a playful interview, it was a philosophical and personal clash. Gosling's expression shifted, his body stiffening slightly in his chair. It was clear this wasn't going to be a typical late-night interview. Gosling took a moment before responding. "I came here to talk about my film, not defend my values like I'm on trial." His tone wasn't angry, but it was firm. Colbert, unfazed, pressed on. "But when celebrities use their platform to criticize others, shouldn't they be held to the same standard?" Gosling's patience visibly thinned. "I'm not criticizing people, I'm calling out double standards. There's a difference." The audience gave a hesitant round of applause. Colbert raised an eyebrow, clearly enjoying the escalating tension. What he might not have expected, however, was how far it would go. As the segment continued, Colbert veered even further from the script. "I just think it's funny," he said, "how someone who's benefited so much from the system is suddenly taking shots at it." Gosling's smile faded completely. "Are you accusing me of being disingenuous?" he asked, voice low. Colbert leaned back, holding up his hands mockingly. "I'm just asking questions." Gosling exhaled through his nose, visibly irritated. "Well, you're making statements dressed up as questions. That's not curious at you, that's provocation." The crowd didn't laugh. It was too real now. The warmth was gone. Only tension remained. For a few moments, both men sat in silence, staring at each other. Gosling crossed his arms, no longer interested in banter. Colbert cleared his throat, sensing the discomfort but unwilling to backpedal. "Look, Ryan," he said, "this show is about conversation. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable." Gosling shook his head. "Conversation means listening. You came in with a script. You wanted to paint me into a corner and call it journalism." The audience didn't know how to react. Some clapped in support, others sat in stunned silence. This wasn't entertainment anymore, it was confrontation. A producer offstage gestured to cut to commercial. But the exchange wasn't over. Colbert tried one more time to lighten the mood. "Come on, Ryan, don't be so sensitive. You're Canadiana, you guys are supposed to be polite." Gosling's eyes narrowed. "Politeness isn't the same as letting people walk all over you." The comment hit harder than expected. Colbert smiled awkwardly, but his eyes betrayed frustration. "Well, if you don't want to answer questions, maybe this isn't the right place for you." That was the moment everything changed. Gosling leaned forward and said calmly, "Maybe it's not." Then, to everyone's shock, Gosling stood up. The crowd gasped. "If I wanted an interrogation, I'd go to a press conference," he said. "I came here to share something creative. If that's not welcome, I'll go." Colbert tried to salvage the moment, laughing nervously. "You're really walking out?" Gosling adjusted his suit. "No, I'm being kicked off, remember?" A stagehand appeared at the edge of the frame, unsure whether to intervene. The camera kept rolling. Colbert, visibly rattled, said, "I didn't kick you off, you're free to stay." But Gosling was already stepping away. As he exited, Gosling turned back briefly. "I've got no problem with tough questions," he said, "but don't pretend you're listening when you've already made up your mind." Then he walked off stage. The audience was stunned. Colbert sat speechless for a moment before signaling for a commercial. The transition music felt hollow. The air in the studio had gone completely still. On social media, word spread like wildfire. Within minutes, clips of the walkout were trending across every platform. Gosling vs. Colbert was the headline, the hashtag, and the obsession of the hour. Backstage, Gosling refused to give interviews. His team declined to comment, but one source close to the show confirmed he was furious and felt ambushed. Meanwhile, Colbert returned after the break with a strained smile. "Well, folks, that was something," he said. He tried to pivot to the next guest, but the energy was off. Nobody was paying attention to the rest of the episode. Online, commentators took sides. Some praised Colbert for holding celebrities accountable. Others slammed him for badgering a guest. Gosling, once known for his cool, calm demeanor, had shown a rare flash of raw emotion. Later that night, Gosling posted a short message on his Instagram story: "Respect the platform, don't abuse it." He didn't mention Colbert by name, but everyone knew what he meant. The post went viral within hours. Celebrities chimed in. Some backed Gosling, calling him brave for standing his ground. Others defended Colbert, saying the job of a host is to challenge, not coddle. Fans debated fiercely. Was Gosling too sensitive? Was Colbert disrespectful? The clip was dissected frame by frame on Reddit, re-edited into memes, reaction videos, and parody skits that exploded across TikTok and X. The incident sparked broader conversations about the nature of celebrity interviews. Had late-night shows become too combative? Was it still about entertainment or scoring points? Media analysts weighed in on podcasts and YouTube. Many noted how rare it was for a celebrity like Gosling to break the fourth wall and reject the expectations of the format. It wasn't just drama, it was a protest. Gosling wasn't just walking out of an interview, he was walking out on a system he saw as manipulative, and millions resonated with that sentiment. The narrative grew bigger than the moment itself. Colbert addressed the controversy on the following night's show. "I like Ryan," he began. "I may have pushed too hard, and if I did, I apologize." The admission was rare, and some saw it as an attempt at damage control. Others called it sincere. Either way, the apology didn't stop the fallout. Gosling's fans flooded social media with support. "He didn't crack he just said enough," one post read. The tension between authenticity and media performance had reached a boiling point, and Ryan's exit became the symbol. Whether you thought it was heroic or dramatic, you couldn't look away. In the days that followed, Gosling kept a low profile. He cancelled one interview, then another. Paparazzi caught glimpses of him in Los Angeles, but he offered no statements. Meanwhile, his film saw a spike in interest of people who had never planned to watch it now bought tickets, just to support him. Streams jumped, reviews poured in. The incident on The Late Show had given his project a life of its own. It also cemented Gosling as more than just a pretty face. He became, for many, a symbol of quiet resistance against shallow spectacle. In a media landscape driven by shock value, Ryan Gosling's walkout felt like a full stop, not because it was angry or chaotic, but because it was deliberate. It reminded viewers that even the most polished actors have boundaries, and even the most practiced hosts can cross them. What happened that night wasn't planned, it wasn't funny, it wasn't fake. It was one man drawing a linea and walking away from what lay beyond it. In a world of forced smiles and scripted laughs, sometimes the most powerful statement is silence and the choice to leave.